So the president is saying those who are formally charged, there are a number of them that you could think of now, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, but a name like Zandile Gumede will come to mind because she has been formally charged, and I guess she's out on bail from what I recall, but she's sitting pretty in the KwaZulu-Natal provincial legislature. Should we expect somebody like her, after that strong statement, that very clear decision by the NEC of the ANC, for her to be removed?
Well, you have already, I mean, a few names have been mentioned. Bongo, who is a chairperson of the Portfolio Committee, who has been charged for trying to allegedly bribe Advocate Vanara, who was the chairperson of the committee who was the evidence leader in that parliamentary process. Now, you also heard of, you've heard of Andre Lungisa, who is a councillor in the Eastern Cape. You have heard of Zandile Gumede herself, as well as Mike Mabuyakulu. Now, it's just a handful of people. But here's what, for me, is more important. It is about whether the ANC has a resilient system in place that its members won't use and abuse to, run away from facing the consequences of the things that they have done. And here's why I'm saying this is important. There's going to be a strong reliance, for example, on the Integrity Commission. Now, that Integrity Commission has at times been found wanting, or people have been able to use it, to stay away from facing the consequences.
And the president is saying this Integrity Committee is going to be strengthened and beefed up.
He says they're going to have a meeting. But even I would argue that 2 years ago when he took over, he knew that that system was far from perfect. So why didn't they begin to deal with the problems that it faces? In his case, when they asked him to appear before it, he said, maybe you should wait for the public protector to pronounce or conclude her own process. Maybe we should also wait for the court processes that were currently underway at the time. D.D. Mabuza, the ANC's deputy president, had an issue with how they went about dealing with his particular case. Now, take a listen, in fact, maybe before I make that last point, take a listen to what he had to say yesterday when I asked him where his particular case was.
All of us, when called upon to go to the Integrity Commission, we will go. All members of the organization will do so. We need just to strengthen our processes. We're still going to meet with the Integrity Commission to iron out a few issues so that whatever we do, there should be some sequence and coordination in the public space. So yes, I'll await for the next bite if I'm called by the Integrity Commission. But as of now, I think the matter was concluded.
Convincing?
No, you see, and therein lies the problem. Because his matter was not concluded. The Integrity Commission, they hadn't pronounced on his guilt or lack of.
But he seems to be of the view they have.
You see? Now, those are the things that you need to deal with, because someone is going to, those people who are corrupt, who know that the ANC is really, what lies or stands between them and orange overalls, them and paying back the money, them and keeping the jobs that they currently have, them accessing tenders and other advantages that only the ANC confers on them. Those people are going to use such loopholes and said, but you didn't have a problem when Cyril Ramaphosa raised another issue or put as his excuse other processes. You didn't have an issue when Didi Mabuza said, but I've been unfairly treated because you never asked me to appear before you. So until the ANC sorts those things out, and it must be said that often they do not move with speed in dealing with these things. Take the question of Zimbabwe, which was asked by several people yesterday. A month ago, they made a commitment to meet with ZANU-PF. A month later, they still haven't done that. You see? So all these things, while the right noises were made yesterday, giving South Africans a great deal of hope that the situation is going to turn for the better, but the tardiness that often accompanies how things are done after promises would have been made is what the ANC still has to deal with to convince some of us that indeed the tide is turning.
Indeed. Thank you very much, eNCA Political Editor Vuyo Mvoko. Well, one political analyst, by the way, doesn't think that the structures in the ANC are strong enough to deal with corrupt numbers.